I still remember that night like it was yesterday, the night everything went wrong. It was late, the kind of hour when the world feels still, but beneath the surface, everything is moving too fast. I wasn't supposed to be there. I shouldn't have been. But there I was, standing at the back of the crowd, watching the chaos unfold. I could hear Raj laughing, his voice a little too loud, too carefree. My junior in the industry, always reckless, always thinking he could get away with anything. But that night he went too far. Come on, Ishaan. Don't be so stiff. Have some fun. Raj had slurred, his hand grabbing my arm like I was part of his mess. I tried to pull away, but I couldn't ignore the sinking feeling in my stomach. Riya was there too, her smile glowing as always, the same actress I had admired for years. She was the star everyone adored, the one whose every move was watched by millions. And that night, she would be gone because of Raj's stupidity. He hadn't meant to hurt her, I know that. But he had pushed her too far. In front of the cameras, no less. A little too much alcohol. A little too much confidence. And when he shoved her, she lost her balance, hit her head on the stage, and collapsed. I rushed forward, my heart pounding, but by the time I got there, the damage was done. The blood on the floor was a stark reminder of my failure to act sooner. The paramedics arrived, but it was already too late. She's gone, isn't she? I had asked, barely able to make the words leave my mouth. The paramedic didn't answer me, and I didn't need him to. I saw it in his eyes. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't think. My hands shook as I gripped the railing, trying to steady myself. The guilt hit me like a wave crashing into the shore, unstoppable. If only I'd stepped in earlier, stopped Raj from drinking so much, maybe, just maybe, I could have saved her. You okay? Maya's voice cut through the fog in my mind. She was there beside me, looking at me with concern. Her touch was warm on my shoulder, but it didn't bring any comfort. I don't know, I muttered, my voice breaking. I should have stopped him. I should have done something. Maya's hands gently turned me to face her. Her eyes were soft, filled with worry. Ishaan, you can't blame yourself. You couldn't have known. But I did. I knew. And the fact that I hadn't acted sooner, hadn't done anything, gnawed at me. How can you say that? I snapped, pulling away from her. She's dead because I stood there doing nothing. Her face softened, her eyes filled with sympathy. I'm sorry, but you're not responsible for what happened. But I couldn't shake the feeling that I was. If I had been quicker, if I had stopped Raj before it went too far, maybe Riya would still be alive. I took a deep breath and tried to calm myself, but the guilt consumed me. How could I face the industry now? How could I face anyone knowing that my failure had led to her death? I'll fix this, I said quietly, mostly to myself. I can't let this go. I won't. Maya sighed, her hand resting on my arm. What are you going to do? I don't know yet. But I have to make it right. I have to save her somehow. I could see the worry in her eyes, but there was something else there too, a fear that I wasn't seeing. A fear that whatever I was about to do would change everything. Maya didn't say anything, just squeezed my hand, but I could feel the distance between us growing. I didn't care though. All I could think about was Riya, her lifeless body, the image of her face burned into my memory. It wasn't enough for me to mourn. I had to do something to make up for my failure. I'm going to fix this, I repeated, the words coming out like a promise. But deep down I wasn't sure if I could. The guilt had taken hold of me, and no matter how much Maya tried to reassure me, I knew one thing for certain. I wouldn't be able to live with myself until I found a way to undo what had happened. I woke up with a start, my heart racing. Something felt off. I rubbed my eyes, but everything was the same. The same room, the same bed, the same window where the morning light streamed through. Nothing seemed different. But then I glanced at the clock. It was the exact time, the exact day, the day it all happened. The day Riya died. I didn't know how it was possible, but I felt it deep inside me, the eerie sense that time had reset itself, like I was living that night again. I scrambled out of bed, confused, my thoughts a mess. How could this be happening? Was I still dreaming? No, this felt too real. I looked around, everything in its place, and yet it wasn't. It couldn't be. I couldn't be here, back in this moment, living through this again. The guilt from last night flooded my chest, like a tight knot that wouldn't loosen. I glanced at the phone on my bedside table. The date read March 18th, the day before Riya's death. I stared at it, trying to make sense of what was going on. This wasn't possible. Hey Ishaan, you up? Yet. Maya's voice called from the kitchen. I froze. Maya. She was here like everything was normal. I didn't know how to explain what was happening, or even if I should. It didn't make sense. Yeah, I called back, my voice strained. Just getting up. Maya came into the room holding a cup of coffee. Her smile was as warm as always, but there was a flicker of concern in her eyes when she saw my face. "You okay?" she asked, stepping closer, putting the cup down on the nightstand. "You look a little pale." I forced a smile, but it felt fake, stretched thin. "I'm fine. Just didn't sleep well last night." "Yeah, I noticed. You've been kind of distant lately," she said, her voice softer now. She reached out, brushing a strand of hair away from my forehead. "I get it. Things have been heavy. But you're scaring me, Ishaan." I felt the sting of guilt again, and for a second I wondered if I was losing my mind. Scaring her? I was scaring myself. And I hadn't even told her the truth. "Not yet." "I'm sorry," I said, swallowing hard. "I'll be okay." She didn't look convinced, but she let it go for now, brushing the worry off with a sigh. "Just don't shut me out, all right?" I nodded, though I wasn't sure how long I could keep up this act. My mind was already racing ahead. If I was really back in time, I had a chance. I had a chance to stop Raj, to save Riya, to save myself from the guilt that had been tearing me apart. I stood up, ignoring the wave of dizziness that washed over me. It felt like I had to move, like I had to do something before time ran out again. I had to fix this. "Where are you going?" Maya asked, her voice laced with confusion. "It's barely morning." "I need to clear my head," I said quickly. "I'll be back soon." I grabbed my jacket and rushed out before she could stop me. The air outside felt different, fresher, sharper, as if the world was holding its breath, waiting for me to do something. As I walked down the familiar streets, my mind raced. I knew I had to stop Raj from making that mistake. If I didn't, Riya would die. Again. I stopped in front of the venue, the same building where it all happened. The stage was set up for tonight's event, and there at the edge of the crowd I saw Raj. He was laughing with a group of people, totally unaware of the impact his actions would have. I had to act fast. I walked toward him, my heart pounding in my chest. "Raj," I called, my voice loud enough to get his attention. He turned around, his smile widening when he saw me. "Ishaan, what's up, man?" I forced a smile, trying to act normal despite the panic rising in me. "We need to talk. Now." Raj raised an eyebrow. "Everything okay?" "Yeah, it's fine," I said quickly, my mind scrambling. "Just listen to me, okay? Don't drink tonight. Don't go overboard. Please." His expression faltered for a second before he laughed. "Come on, Ishaan. Lighten up. It's just a party. We'll be fine." "No, Raj," I said, stepping closer. "You don't understand. Please, don't let tonight be like last time. Don't make that mistake." He looked at me, his face serious for once. "What are you talking about? Everything's fine." "I'm serious. Just don't drink too much," I repeated, my words tumbling out in a rush. "Please, Raj." He stared at me for a moment, a hint of confusion in his eyes before he shrugged. All right. I get it. You're being weird, but whatever. I'll keep it together." I couldn't shake the feeling that I was running out of time. I had stopped him this time, but what if it wasn't enough? What if I couldn't change the past? My thoughts were interrupted by Maya's call. "Ishaan, where are you? Are you okay?" I sighed, trying to calm my racing heart. "I'm fine," I said, trying to reassure her. "Just needed some air." She didn't seem convinced. "You're acting strange. Come back home, please. We need to talk." I glanced back at Raj, who was already turning away, and I felt a heavy weight settle on my chest. What was I doing? I couldn't keep running from this. I had to fix it, for Riya, for myself. "I'll be home soon," I said, and ended the call before I could hear her reply. I had to stop Raj. I had to save her. And I had to do it now before it was too late again. I wasn't sure what I expected, but standing in front of Riya, I felt the air change around me. Her presence was undeniable, just like on the screen, beautiful, vibrant, flawless, but there was something different. Something that caught me off guard. She stood there, smiling as she greeted everyone, but when her eyes met mine, there was a flicker of something I hadn't noticed before. A sadness hidden beneath the surface. It was brief, but it was there. "Hey, you're Ishaan, right?" Her voice was warm, but there was a certain tiredness to it. She extended her hand, and I found myself hesitating for a moment before shaking it. "Yeah," I managed, trying to act calm despite my heart racing. "It's nice to finally meet you, Riya." "The pleasure's mine," she said, her smile softening. But then, as if catching herself, she glanced around as if she didn't want anyone to notice. "I heard a lot about you." "Good things, I hope," I said with a chuckle, trying to break the tension, though it felt heavier than I could explain. "Mostly," she replied, raising an eyebrow playfully. I noticed how her eyes seemed to carry a weight, Like there was so much more behind that smile than anyone could imagine. I hope I can live up to the hype. I'm sure you will, I said, but I couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to her than just the actress everyone adored. The one the world saw on camera was different from the person I was beginning to meet. She paused for a moment, studying me. You don't look like the others. I frowned. What do you mean? The others, she said softly, her voice dropping a notch, they all see me as just a face. A body. But you look like you're actually seeing me. Not just the actress. Her words struck something deep within me. I opened my mouth to respond, but I was at a loss for words. She was right, there was so much more beneath the surface that I was beginning to notice. I had to stop myself from blurting out what I was really thinking. That I already knew what would happen to her. That I wanted to save her. But I couldn't tell her that. Not yet. Why does it feel like we've met before? She asked suddenly, her voice curious, almost like she was speaking to herself more than to me. I swallowed, my mind racing. Maybe because we've seen each other a lot in the past? She smiled again, though it didn't quite reach her eyes. Maybe. Or maybe it's just one of those moments where you feel like you know someone without really knowing them. I didn't know how to respond to that. Was it the universe at work? A second chance? Or was I just losing my grip on reality? We continued talking, but the more I listened to her, the more I realized how different she was from what I had imagined. She wasn't just the glamorous, perfect actress that everyone saw on screen. There was an underlying vulnerability to her that I hadn't expected. I've been in this industry a long time, she said, breaking the silence. But sometimes I feel like I don't belong. Like I'm not really the person everyone thinks I am. I was surprised by her honesty. Most people would never admit something like that. Especially not someone as famous as she was. You're not the only one who feels that way, I said softly, my voice quieter than usual. I guess everyone has their own battles that no one else sees. She looked at me, a flicker of understanding in her eyes. Yeah, I guess that's true. Her words stuck with me as we continued talking. She told me about her struggles with the constant pressure, the way people expected her to be perfect all the time. She told me things she had never told anyone, and I found myself listening, really listening, in a way I hadn't done before. It wasn't just that she needed saving. It was that she needed someone to see her for who she truly was, not the glamorous actress everyone adored, but the woman behind the mask. Meanwhile, in the back of my mind, I kept thinking about Maya. She had started to pull away lately, and I could feel the tension between us growing. But I didn't know how to explain what was happening, what I was feeling. I didn't even know if I could explain it to myself. Are you okay? Riya's voice interrupted my thoughts. She was watching me closely now, her expression a little softer than before. I nodded quickly, trying to shake the unease off. Yeah, just lost in thought. She raised an eyebrow but didn't push it further. Instead, she smiled and looked around. You seem different. Like, something's on your mind. Maybe I'm just reading into things. I laughed, but it sounded forced. I think we all have a lot on our minds these days. Her smile faded slightly, and I could tell she was waiting for something. But what? I didn't know if I should tell her the truth, but how could I? How could I tell her that I was here to stop her from dying, that I was somehow brought back to this moment to save her life? How could I say that out loud? Instead, I just gave her a small smile. I'm glad we met. Me too, she said, her voice barely above a whisper. I didn't know what the future held. But I knew one thing for sure. My world had changed. I've never felt this out of control before. It's like everything around me is spinning, and I'm the only one who can see it. But I can't stop it, can't make the world stop turning back to where it all began. I have to fix this, but I'm not sure why anymore. It was supposed to be about saving Riya. But now I'm questioning myself. I had no idea how reckless Raj had been. I thought I could talk him out of it, stop him before he did something stupid, but I underestimated how far he'd go. I didn't realize he had already planned everything, planned to put her in that dangerous situation. I was walking through the hotel lobby when I saw Raj again, this time without a crowd of people surrounding him. He was by the bar, speaking to a few others, but he wasn't the same person I remembered. There was something darker in him. He was different, more unpredictable. The pieces of his plan started clicking into place in my head, and it was too late. I couldn't let him go through with it. Raj, I said, stepping up to him. We need to talk. Now. He turned, his eyes slightly glassy from the alcohol, but his expression was more focused than it had been before. What's up, Ishaan? You're pushing her too far, I said, trying to keep my voice steady. You're going to hurt her. You have to stop this. He looked at me, his face twisted in a half smile. You don't get it, do you? She's fine. She can handle herself. No, she can't. I snapped, my voice rising. You're making a mistake, Raj. I won't let you do this to her. You think this is some kind of joke, but it's not. It's her life. You don't get to mess with it like that. Raj laughed, the sound empty. I'm not messing with anything. You're just overthinking. She's just an actress, Ishaan. No one's perfect. I felt my blood boil at his words. My vision blurred for a moment, but I kept it together. She's a person, Raj. Not a thing for you to play with. You don't see her like I do. You don't see the real her. You think everything's a game, but this is real. His face twisted, irritated now. You're not making any sense. Why do you care so much, huh? You've been acting weird lately. You weren't like this before. I care because I can't let you hurt her, I muttered under my breath. She deserves better than this. Raj narrowed his eyes. And you think you're the one who's going to save her? You think you're the hero here? I opened my mouth, but before I could respond, I heard a voice behind me. Is everything okay? Riya's voice was soft, but I could hear the concern in it. I turned around to see her standing there, her eyes catching mine. My heart skipped a beat. She looked perfect just like she always did. But her eyes, those eyes, there was something there, something heavy, like she already knew too much about the world. I wanted to protect her. I wanted to tell her everything, that I was here to stop her from dying. That I was the one who had come back to fix this. But I couldn't. Not yet. Not when I didn't even understand why I was doing it. Everything's fine, Raj said, flashing her a smile that didn't quite reach his eyes. Just a little misunderstanding. She raised an eyebrow, her gaze shifting from Raj to me. Are you sure about that? I couldn't look at her. Not when I knew what was going to happen. I'm fine, I said, forcing the words out. She didn't seem convinced. You've been acting different. You've been distant. I didn't know how to answer her. I wanted to be honest, to tell her everything, but I couldn't. Not when I still wasn't sure about what I was doing. I'm not distant, I said, avoiding her eyes. I just have a lot on my mind. You're not telling me something, she pressed, taking a step closer. I'm just trying to keep everything together, I said, my voice low. Her expression softened, but there was still a look of doubt in her eyes. I don't like when you shut me out. I felt a pang of guilt. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. You're not the same, Ishaan, she said, her voice barely above a whisper. I couldn't look at her anymore. The truth was eating me alive. The things I needed to do, the things I had to fix, were tearing me apart. I didn't know how to balance it all, how to save her and still be the person I used to be. I'll figure it out, I said quickly, turning away before she could say anything else. I have to go. As I walked away, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was losing control of everything. Maya was right. I was distant, cold, obsessed. But I didn't know how to stop. I had a mission now. I had to save her. I could feel the weight of my decision pressing down on me. What was I doing? Was I doing this for the right reasons? Or was I just running away from my own guilt? But I couldn't stop. Not when there was a chance to save her. Not when I had a second chance to fix everything. But even as I told myself that, I wasn't sure if I was trying to save her, or if I was just trying to save myself. I didn't think it would get this out of hand. I thought I could handle it, keep everything under control. But the more I tried to save Riya, the more I realized that the people around me, Raj, Maya, even myself, were all being pulled into something far darker than I had ever imagined. It started with a simple conversation. Well, as simple as one can be when the stakes are this high. I'd been trying to warn Raj for days, hoping I could get through to him, stop him before it was too late. But he wasn't hearing any of it. You think you can stop me? Raj's voice was low, filled with anger as he cornered me by the backstage door. You think you can just play hero and save her? You're getting in my way, Ishaan. I took a step back, trying to steady myself. His words hit harder than I expected. Raj, this isn't a joke anymore. I'm trying to save her. I'm trying to stop you from ruining everything. He laughed, a bitter, harsh sound. Save her? You think you're the only one who can see that she's just a pawn in this world? You think you're the only one who knows what it's like to want control? You're out of control, I shot back, my voice rising despite myself. This is about Riya's life. You don't get to play with her future like it's nothing. I'll do what I want, Ishaan. And if you keep interfering, I'll make sure everyone knows what you've been up to. He stepped closer, his eyes narrowing. You really want to play this game? You think you can just save her and walk away? You're in this too deep now. His words were a threat, plain and simple. But I didn't care. I had to save Riya. I had no choice. You can threaten me all you want, but I'm not backing down, I said, my voice shaking with the weight of it all. I'm not letting you ruin her. He didn't respond, but the look in his eyes told me he wasn't finished. I had a feeling he'd find a way to turn this around and use it against me. And I was right. By the time I got home that night, my mind was racing. I couldn't focus. I had made my decision, but now I was starting to see the consequences of it all. I could still hear Raj's words echoing in my head, and the more I thought about it, the more I realized that not only was Riya's life at risk, but so was mine. The door clicked open and Maya walked in, her face a mixture of concern and frustration. Ishaan, we need to talk. I turned to her, already feeling the weight of my own guilt. I'm not in the mood for another one of these talks, Maya. She didn't back down. No, we're talking now. What's going on with you? You've been distant. Cold. You're not the same. I felt a pang in my chest. The guilt I'd been suppressing all day hit me hard. I'm just dealing with something, okay? I don't need this right now. Her face softened, but there was still something in her eyes that I couldn't ignore. What are you dealing with, Ishaan? You've been shutting me out and I'm scared. I'm scared that I'm losing you. You're not losing me, I snapped, but even as the words left my mouth, I knew they were hollow. I'm just busy. Busy with what? She asked, her voice trembling. I see how you've been acting. You're so focused on something and I don't know what it is, but it's not me. It's not us. I can't explain it right now, I muttered, running a hand through my hair. I just need to fix something. You can't fix everything on your own, Ishaan, she said, her voice barely a whisper. Please let me in. You don't have to carry this burden alone. But I wasn't ready to let her in. Not yet. The truth was too much. I had to fix Riya's fate, and that meant I couldn't be distracted by anything, especially not Maya's concern. I'll be fine, I said, the words tasting like poison in my mouth. I'll figure it out. She looked at me for a long moment as if searching for something she couldn't find. Then, with a defeated sigh, she turned and walked out, leaving me with the deafening silence of my own thoughts. The next day, things took another turn for the worse. I couldn't stop thinking about the threat Raj had made. I tried to convince myself that he wouldn't actually go through with it, but I knew better. He had power. He could ruin everything. My career, Riya's career, and whatever fragile relationship I had left with Maya. I had to act and fast. I couldn't afford to let Raj expose me, but I also couldn't let him destroy Riya's future. I had to make a choice. Hey Ishaan, Raj's voice broke through my thoughts as I walked into the venue for the evening's event. He was waiting for me by the entrance, a smug grin on his face. We need to talk. What now? I said through gritted teeth. He stepped closer, his tone casual but dangerous. I'm warning you. Stay out of my way or I'll make sure everyone knows about the little stunt you pulled. You'll be the one who gets destroyed, not me. His words were meant to intimidate me, but they only fueled my resolve. You don't scare me, Raj. You're not going to win this. Not this time. He laughed, his eyes cold. We'll see about that, won't we? I knew then that I was walking a razor-thin line. One wrong move and everything could fall apart. I spent the rest of the day trying to prepare for whatever came next, but all I could think about was how much further I was sinking into this mess. I had made my choice and now I had to live with the consequences. But what if those consequences weren't just mine to face? As I looked in the mirror, I realized that whatever happened next could destroy everything I had. And I was ready to pay that price, if it meant saving Riya. I didn't see it coming. Not even for a second. But when Maya finally told me the truth, everything I thought I knew about her, and about myself, shattered in an instant. It was late when she came to me, her expression unreadable, as though she had been carrying something heavy for far too long. The way she stood there, her eyes avoiding mine, made my stomach twist with unease. Ishaan, we need to talk, she said, her voice unusually quiet, almost hesitant. I stared at her, confusion mixing with a growing sense of dread. What is it, Maya? She took a deep breath, almost as if steeling herself for something. I know about Riya. About everything. I froze, my heart hammering in my chest. What do you mean you know about everything? Her eyes finally met mine, and there was something in them that I couldn't place. I know what happened before. The tragedy. How you've been trying to fix it. How you've been obsessed with saving her. The words hit me like a punch to the gut. She knew. She'd known this whole time. How could you? I started, but I couldn't finish. My chest tightened as the realization sank in. Maya had been hiding this from me and I couldn't understand why. I didn't want to hurt you, she said quickly, her voice trembling now. I didn't know how to tell you. I was afraid. I saw how much it was consuming you, and I didn't want to push you further away. I felt my blood run cold. You knew and you didn't say anything? All this time you just let me spiral like this. I was scared, Ishaan, she whispered, stepping closer, but I stepped back, my mind spinning. I was losing you. I could see it. You were so focused on the past, on fixing everything, and it was tearing you apart. I didn't know how to stop it. But you should have told me, I said, the anger in my voice sharper than I intended. I trusted you. You were the one person I thought I could count on. And you, I choked on my words, unable to keep the bitterness from spilling out. You've been lying to me, hiding it from me. I wasn't lying, she said, her voice breaking. I was protecting you. Protecting me? I scoffed, my chest tightening with hurt. From the truth? From the one thing I needed to hear? I needed to know, Maya. You don't get to decide what I can and can't handle. I didn't want to lose you, she said softly, her voice almost pleading. But now I see it. I've pushed you too far. You're so deep in this that you're losing yourself. You're losing me. I could hear the desperation in her voice, but it wasn't enough to calm the storm inside me. I couldn't believe it. After everything we'd been through, she'd kept this from me. She knew the full truth, about my past, about the tragedy, about Riya, and she'd kept it hidden, thinking I wouldn't be able to handle it. I trusted you, I repeated, almost in a whisper. I thought you were different. Her hands reached out, but I stepped back again, shaking my head. Don't touch me right now. Ishaan, please, she said, tears in her eyes. I never meant to hurt you. I was just scared. Scared of what you would become if you knew. Scared? I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. You were scared? I'm the one who's been drowning in guilt. I'm the one who's been living in a nightmare, trying to fix something that's impossible to fix. And you've been holding back the truth from me. For how long, Maya? How long? She didn't answer, her face crumpling as the weight of my words hit her. But it didn't matter. The damage was done. The trust one had in her, it was gone. I could see her trying to explain, trying to reach me, but I couldn't let her. I couldn't listen to any more excuses. The truth had been buried for too long, and now it felt like everything had fallen apart. I need space, I said, my voice hard even though my heart was breaking. I need to figure this out. I can't. Ishaan, please, Maya interrupted, stepping forward, but I held up my hand, stopping her. Don't, I said. Just don't. I need to be alone. I could see the hurt in her eyes, but it didn't matter. I needed to be alone. Alone with my thoughts. Alone with the mess I had created. I turned and walked away, not looking back. I didn't know where I was going, but I couldn't stay there. I couldn't face her right now. I couldn't face the person I thought I knew. As I walked through the empty streets, my mind raced. Betrayed. That's what I felt. Betrayed by the one person I thought would always be there for me. Maya's secret wasn't just a betrayal, it was a reminder that no one could be trusted. Not even the ones closest to you. I didn't know what to do next. I didn't know who I could trust. The only thing I knew was that Riya's life was still hanging in the balance. And now I had to deal with my own mess on top of it all. Everything was slipping away and I wasn't sure if I could save it, if I could save her, or if I had already lost too much. Feels like everything is slipping through my fingers. No matter how hard I try to hold on, it's all falling apart. Riya's life is hanging by a thread and I know it's my fault. I'm the one who pushed too hard. I'm the one who interfered. Raj is playing the game to win and I'm stuck in the middle watching everything burn. I should have seen it coming. Raj's manipulations have been subtle, but they've grown stronger each day. He's smarter than I gave him credit for and now I'm trapped. I tried to warn him, tried to stop him, but I only made things worse. I should have let it go. I should have stayed out of it. But it's too late for that now. Where have you been? Maya's voice snaps me out of my thoughts. She's standing in front of me, her arms crossed, her expression tight with frustration. I rub my temples, trying to keep my cool. I had things to deal with, Maya. I'm not in the mood for this. No, we need to talk, she insists, her tone cutting through the fog in my mind. You've been shutting me out for days now. I can't stand this anymore. I look at her, my heart heavy. You don't understand. You never did. What's going on with you, Ishaan? Her voice cracks. Why are you acting like this? What's more important than us? I'm trying to save her, Maya. I snap, the words slipping out before I can stop them. Riya's life is in danger and I've screwed it up. I can't think straight. I can't focus on anything else. Maya recoils as if my words physically struck her. You're obsessed with her, aren't you? She says, her voice low. I can see it. You're more concerned about her than about me. Than about us. You're pushing me away, Ishaan. And for what? I can feel the anger rising in me. You don't get it. You don't know what it's like. She's going to die, Maya. She's going to die and it's my fault. I have to fix it. By what? She asks, her voice trembling. By throwing us away? By making decisions that don't just affect you but me too? I can't do this. I can't keep pretending that everything's fine. I shake my head, the words choking me. I never asked for this. I never wanted it to be like this. But I can't back down now. Ishaan? Maya's voice cracks and she steps back, her face filled with hurt. You've already lost me. You just don't see it. I don't know what hurts more, the fact that I've driven her away, or the fact that I'm so consumed by my guilt and obsession that I can't stop it. You're right, I mutter, my voice rough. I've lost you. The silence between us stretches, thick and suffocating. I can see the tears in her eyes, but I don't have the strength to reach out to her. I don't have the strength for anything anymore. I've crossed a line and there's no going back. I don't know how long I've been walking. My feet are carrying me aimlessly like a puppet on strings. I'm drowning in my own mind and nothing makes sense anymore. I thought I could fix it, thought I could save Riya. But the more I try, the worse things get. Where is she? I demand when I finally find Raj in the hallway, standing in front of a closed door. He turns to me, his smirk irritatingly smug. She's fine. Why don't you just leave it alone? You've pushed her too far, I growl, taking a step closer. This is your fault, Raj. You've messed with her life and now she's paying the price. He laughs, but it's hollow, almost like he's mocking me. It's always someone else's fault, isn't it? But you're the one who couldn't stay out of it. You think you're some hero, don't you? I didn't ask for this, I snap. I didn't ask to be stuck in the middle of your mess. Too bad. You're in it now, he says coldly before pushing past me, his presence lingering like a bad omen. I stand there, trying to steady my breath, trying to hold on to whatever sense of control I have left. But I feel like I'm slipping. Everything I've done has only made it worse. I thought I could save her, but now I'm the one who's ruining everything. I find myself back in front of the hotel, standing under the harsh, artificial light, my body trembling from the adrenaline. My thoughts are scattered, too many things running through my head all at once. I can't go back to Maya. Not now. I've already broken her and I'm not sure how to fix it. I can't focus on her, not when Riya's life is on the line. But I can't escape the reality of my own darkness either. It's consuming me. Everything I've done has been to make up for a mistake I can't undo, and it's driving me to the edge. I grab my phone and scroll through the messages. There are too many from Maya. Too many from Riya's team asking for updates. I'm drowning. I can't breathe. I'm losing everything. I'm losing myself. I've been running for so long, chasing after something I couldn't control. I used to think that if I just fought hard enough, I could fix everything. That if I pushed myself and everyone around me enough, I could somehow make things right. But now, standing in front of Riya's hospital room, I realize the truth. Some things are just out of my hands. The door is slightly ajar. I can hear the soft beeping of machines, the hushed voices of the medical staff outside. Riya's life hangs in the balance, and I feel like I'm the one responsible for the strings pulling her fate. But I can't save her. Not anymore. I take a deep breath and push the door open, stepping into the sterile, white-lit room. Her face is pale against the hospital bed, and the steady rhythm of her breath makes my heart ache. I stand there for a moment, feeling like an intruder in her life. A life I've tried to manipulate, trying to fix a mistake I made by interfering. You're here, her voice is weak, but it still sends a shock through me. I hadn't expected her to wake up yet. I've been here, just didn't know how to face you. The words come out more broken than I want them to. I approach the side of her bed, feeling the weight of every step I've taken in this direction. My guilt, my failures, they've all led me to this moment. She looks at me with those tired eyes, searching for something. You look different, like you've been through a storm. I nod because I have. And I don't know how to explain it to her. Yeah, I have. But that's not why I'm here. I'm sorry, Riya. Her brow furrows and she slowly reaches for my hand, the warmth of her touch somehow grounding me. What are you sorry for? For everything, I say, feeling the lump in my throat. For trying to fix what wasn't mine to fix. For putting you through all of this, for thinking I could control things. You didn't do it alone, she whispers. I wasn't blameless either. I shake my head. No. I pushed you into this mess. I thought I could make everything right, but I couldn't. I thought I could save you, but I didn't stop to think if you wanted saving. I feel the weight of her hand on mine, the pressure of her fingers a silent comfort as she listens. But I'm not sure she understands. I'm not sure I even understand myself. You don't need to save me, Ishaan, she says gently. I didn't need saving. I needed someone to see me, to understand what I was going through. I swallow, my breath catching. I thought I understood, but I see now that I didn't. I've been so focused on my own guilt, trying to erase it, trying to fix things, that I didn't take the time to really see you. Her eyes soften. I don't need fixing. Just love. And I think you've been hiding from that. I can feel the sting of tears I didn't know I was holding back. This moment, this raw honesty, it's too much. I can't fix the past. I can't undo what I've done no matter how hard I try. I've been so consumed by the idea of fixing everything, of controlling it all, that I forgot how to live with what's happened. I pause, my voice cracking under the weight of the confession. I've hurt people. I've hurt you. And I've hurt myself. She squeezes my hand again. It's okay. We're here now. You don't need to carry all of that alone. I look down at our hands, the touch of her fingers feeling like the only thing keeping me grounded in this moment. She's right. I can't carry all of this weight. I've tried, but it's been breaking me down bit by bit. I need to let go. I'm sorry, I say again, this time more firmly. I don't know if I can ever make up for what I did, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try to forgive myself. She gives me a small smile, the kind that doesn't hide the pain but shows strength instead. You can. You're already on the right path. I don't know how long we sit there in silence, our hands intertwined. But for the first time in what feels like forever, I'm not trying to fix something. I'm just being. I'm not trying to change the past, to rewrite the mistakes. I'm just here. And I think for the first time that's enough. The next morning, Maya finds me sitting alone outside, staring at the horizon. She doesn't say anything at first, just sits beside me, her presence a comfort I didn't realize I needed. I saw Riya, I say, my voice quiet. She's awake. And I apologized. I don't know if that's enough, but I told her the truth. Maya doesn't respond immediately, but when she does, it's soft, careful. And what about us, Ishaan? What about everything that's been between us? I close my eyes, feeling the weight of the question. I've been so consumed by everything else that I haven't given her the attention she deserves. She's been there, waiting for me to see her, to see what I've been neglecting. I'm sorry, I say again, but this time I mean it. I've been lost in my own mess. I wasn't there for you the way I should have been. I'll do better, Maya. If you'll let me. She looks at me, her expression soft, vulnerable. I don't know if we can just go back, Ishaan, but I'll give you the chance to try. I'll try too. I reach out and take her hand, the first step toward healing, toward redemption. It's not perfect. It might never be. But it's enough. For the first time in a long time, I can breathe. I can finally let go of the guilt, of the need to fix everything and just live. I've done enough damage. But now, maybe, just maybe, I can begin to heal. And that's enough for me. I stood at the edge of the rooftop, the wind tugging at my jacket as I watched the city below. It felt like the world was moving without me, and for the first time in what felt like forever, I was just standing still, waiting. My phone buzzed in my pocket, snapping me out of my thoughts. It was a message from Raj. You really think you can just walk away from this, Ishaan? You'll pay for this. You and your little redemption act. I stared at the screen, feeling that familiar knot tighten in my chest. Rage, fear, guilt, all of it rolled into one. He was threatening me again, playing his games. I should have expected this. He's always been one step ahead. But the difference now was that I wasn't the same person I was before. I couldn't be. I let the phone slip from my hand and fall to the ground, the shattered screen reflecting the fragments of my life I had been trying to piece together. Was it worth it? Trying to save someone else while destroying everything I had? Was the anger, the obsession, the guilt really worth it? Ishaan, Maya's voice cut through the silence, soft yet firm, like a thread pulling me back. I turned to face her. She was standing there, watching me with eyes that had seen everything I had tried to hide. What are you doing? I'm deciding, I said, my voice barely above a whisper. Deciding if I should finish this or if I should walk away. Walk away. Her brows furrowed in confusion. You're not going to let him win, are you? I don't know anymore, I replied, stepping closer to the edge. I've tried so hard to make things right, to fix everything. But I can't. I can't fix Riya's fate. I can't fix what I've done. You don't have to fix it all, she said, her voice trembling but resolute. Ishaan, you've been punishing yourself for so long. You don't need to carry this burden alone. You don't need revenge. You need peace. Peace. It sounded so foreign, so distant. The idea of letting go of all the anger, the pain, the guilt, it felt impossible. But was it the right choice? Was it the only choice? I don't know how to forgive myself, Maya, I admitted, my voice cracking. How do you live with the fact that you've hurt people you love? How do you live with knowing you couldn't save them? You stop trying to save them, she said softly. You start with yourself. You have to forgive yourself first, Ishaan. That's the hardest part. But once you do, maybe then you can start healing. I stared at her, the weight of her words sinking in. For so long, I had been focused on fixing everything, on saving people who didn't even ask for saving. I had been chasing redemption, but all I'd done was lose myself in the process. You've been here for me through all of this, I said, my voice filled with regret. And I've been running. I didn't realize how much I was pushing you away. You didn't deserve that. Maya took a step closer, her hand reaching out to touch mine. I know. But you're here now, Ishaan. And that's what matters. I looked down at our joined hands, the warmth of her touch grounding me in a way I hadn't felt in so long. It wasn't about fixing the past. It wasn't about seeking revenge on Raj or trying to control everything. It was about accepting what I couldn't change and moving forward. I turned away from the edge, taking a deep breath. I can't keep fighting like this. Not for someone else. Not for a mistake I can't undo. Maya gave me a small, knowing smile. That's a start. I knew then what I had to do. I didn't need to take revenge on Raj. I didn't need to punish him for his mistakes or my own. I had to let karma take its course. I had to accept that I couldn't control everything, and that the only thing I had power over was myself. Later, I stood outside Raj's apartment, the confrontation I had been avoiding now unavoidable. The weight of what I was about to do pressed down on me, but it wasn't anger that fueled my steps. It was a strange sense of calm, of finally seeing things for what they were. When Raj opened the door, there was no smirk, no sense of victory in his eyes. Just exhaustion. Ishaan, he said, almost like he didn't care anymore. You're wasting your time. No, I said, shaking my head. I'm not here to fight. I'm here to let it go. He blinked at me, confusion creeping into his expression. What the hell are you talking about? I'm done. With you. With everything, I said, my voice steady now. You think you've won? You haven't. Because the only thing I'm doing now is moving on. And that means I'm leaving all this behind. Including you. I turned to walk away, the finality of my decision settling into my bones. I wasn't looking for closure. I wasn't looking for a fight. I was simply walking away from the mess I had created, leaving it all behind. Later that night, I sat with Maya, both of us silent for a long time. There was so much I wanted to say, so many apologies that could never be enough. But for the first time, I didn't need to explain myself. She just understood. I think I'm finally ready to let go of everything, I whispered, my eyes meeting hers. To stop trying to save the past. Maya smiled, her hand resting gently on mine. And that's the first step to saving yourself. I didn't have all the answers, and maybe I never would. But for the first time, I felt like I was on the right path. Not because I had fixed everything, but because I had learned to accept what I couldn't change. And that, I realized, was the hardest, and most important, lesson of all. I've been standing at the window for what feels like hours, staring out at the city. Everything looks so small from up here. It's almost like I can see everything clearly for the first time in ages. No more shadows clouding my vision, no more guilt weighing me down. I finally let go of it all. I hear footsteps behind me, soft but steady. It's Maya. She doesn't say anything at first. I'm not sure what to say either. But I feel her presence beside me, the warmth of her hand resting on mine. You okay? She asks, her voice gentle, almost like she's afraid to disturb the silence. I turn to face her, feeling a strange sense of peace settle in my chest. Yeah, I say, my voice steady. I'm okay. She smiles, her eyes searching mine for something. Maybe reassurance, maybe just a glimpse of the man I used to be. But I think she already knows. I'm proud of you, Ishaan, she says, her words simple but heavy with meaning. You've come a long way. I nod, trying to swallow the lump in my throat. I don't have the words to explain how much that means to me. It hasn't been easy, I admit, feeling the weight of everything I've been through. But I think I finally understand what I've been running from. Yeah. Maya's brow furrows slightly, but there's still that soft, understanding look in her eyes. What's that? I take a deep breath, looking out at the horizon again, as if the answer is written somewhere in the sky. I was running from my own mistakes, my own guilt. I thought I could fix everything, that I could save everyone. But the truth is, I couldn't save Riya. I couldn't change the past. Maya's hand squeezes mine, her voice steady. You did what you could. You tried your best. I shake my head. I tried to control everything, Maya. I thought if I pushed hard enough I could change the outcome. But sometimes you have to accept that some things are out of your hands. And you've accepted that now? She asks softly, her eyes searching mine, her voice full of hope. I think I have, I say, a small smile tugging at my lips. I can't change what happened to Riya, but I've learned that holding on to the past, it doesn't help anyone. Least of all me. I can feel her warmth, her quiet understanding. It's all I need right now. What about us? She asks, her voice trembling ever so slightly. I turn to face her and I realize in this moment that I don't have to be afraid anymore. I've come to terms with my mistakes. I've forgiven myself. And now it's time to start healing together. We'll be okay, I say, my voice sure. I know we will. I just needed to figure this out. To stop running. Maya smiles, the weight of everything between us finally lifting. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad we're here. I nod, feeling her words sink in. For the first time in a long time, I feel like I've found a piece of myself again. Not in trying to fix things or in chasing after redemption, but in accepting everything, my failures, my regrets, and letting go of the need for control. I've carried Riya's death with me for too long, I confess, my voice quieter now, almost a whisper. But I'm done carrying it. I've learned that I don't have to bear everything alone. I can't fix it, but I can live with it. Maya pulls me into an embrace, her arms wrapping around me like they're meant to be there. You don't have to do it alone, Ishaan. Not anymore. I close my eyes, letting the moment wash over me. Everything that's happened, everything I've been through, it's led me here. And maybe that's the most I can hope for, to find peace, to find closure, and to move forward. Riya's fate is sealed. I know that. I couldn't save her, but I can carry the lessons she taught me. I can carry the love I felt for her, not as a burden, but as something that helped shape who I am today. As I pull away from Maya, I finally feel like I'm ready to face whatever comes next. With her by my side and with the acceptance of everything I've been through, I know that I can move forward. The journey wasn't easy and it wasn't perfect, but it was mine. And for the first time, I'm okay with that. I'm ready, I say, looking at Maya with more certainty than I've felt in years. Ready to move on. And for the first time, I believe it.